What's going on, guys? It's Daniel here again with Riley Performance. Now today's video is going to be special. I'm going to be showing you guys a full nutritional video. We're going to be cooking up some real specials today. We got some salmon, we got brown rice, and we got broccoli. Now I'm not going to talk too long because I know you guys are starting to get hungry after that menu I just named. So without further ado, let's get started. Wait, hold on. I think I'm forgetting something. Yeah, let me snap on my apron. Alright guys, now we're ready. Let's get cooking.
Okay y'all, so we just put our salmon in a Pirates dish. We just laid some foil over the bottom just to prevent that non-stick. Make sure your hands are clean because you are going to be dry rubbing this. And just to start off, I have the link in the description box below as far as like the ingredients I'm using. So I got some Mrs. Dash here, got some paprika, and I'm going to be using some cinnamon and a half a cup of brown sugar. And again, you guys can find all these ingredients at your local grocery store. This is just the preparation. We're going to be dry rubbing our salmon. Okay, and again, just a tip here, when you get ready to do the dry rub, just make sure you're not putting too little or too much of the seasonings on, because we are going to be adding a lot more stuff to this later. So just make sure you have some good measurements here. We just want to put just enough to cover up the entire salmon because we're about to put this in the oven soon. So again, just making sure that we cover it just enough but not too much. Okay, so this is going to be the fun part here. We're just going to dry rub this stuff on. You want to make sure you're getting all parts of the salmon. As you can see in the beginning, I did start to massage it, but this is a dry rub. So you want to make sure that you have a front and back motion here. And don't put too much pressure on the salmon because you don't want to rip it because it is very tender, very soft. And again here, you just want to sprinkle your ingredients on lightly and just do a wax on, wax off motion here. Just making sure we're covering the entire salmon. Okay y'all, we are just about ready to throw this in the oven. Now usually salmon takes about an hour to cook, so we're just going to break this up into 4 15-minute sessions while we get started on the rest of our items here. So just make sure you have your oven on 425 and let that sit for 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start the preparation for the brown rice. And as you can see here, I got the skillet, I got the teaspoons and the tablespoons, and the brown rice we're actually going to be using is Uncle Ben's whole grain rice, about 190 calories, so pretty good on that. And first off, what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of water and just empty the rice mix in. And you're going to notice a lot of clumps as soon as you dump the rice in, but you're going to add your heat and just go ahead and mix it up and start to break up those clumps because you definitely want to get those out of there when the rice starts to cook. Okay, so now that that's cooking, we're going to set that to the side and we're going to start on our broccoli. Now this broccoli is going to be broccoli cuts. Again, you guys can find this at your local grocery store. Same principle here. We're just going to go ahead and add this to a skillet, add some water, and I usually add a little bit of black pepper in just for a little bit of flavor. Just make sure you're not putting too much in there because we do want to use very little as possible. So we're going to let that sit on the eye here while it's cooking and just give it a nice stir, and just making sure that you're stirring all those broccolis together because it did come out of a frozen pack and you want to make sure everything's melted together. Okay, this would be a good time to check on our salmon that's been cooking for that first 15 minutes. And as you guys can see, it's starting to get there, but it's not done just yet. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out here and just take a look on. This is what it should look like after that first 15 minutes. Now, As far as the wet ingredients, I'm going to be adding a little bit of white cooking wine here. A little bit goes a long way. I kind of poured too much on this part, but guys, just make sure you're not pouring too much because you don't want to drown your salmon in the liquids here. And then we're going to be adding some red cooking wine, just a little bit. And we're going to grab our brush and just make sure we're brushing that in. Some nice deep strokes here. Just making sure we're covering all parts of the salmon. Again, you don't want to have it too liquidy like it is on the side. Like, make sure you're using that brush to absorb all that liquid and rub it across the salmon evenly. All right, so we are just about done here. We're gonna go ahead and throw this back into the oven for our second 15 minutes. Close that up and set your timer for 15 minutes.
All right, guys, so our cooking is almost just about done here, but I want you guys just to take a note on this one thing I forgot to mention. When you guys are cooking all these things at once, just make sure that you are paying attention to the heat, because you don't want to have anything too high, you want to have anything too low. So just kind of give that out for you guys. So let's get back to it.
Okay, so this is going to be our 30-minute mark. Again, our 30-minute mark, and we're just going to go ahead and remove this from the oven here, and we're going to go ahead and add our sauces. One of the sauces, that is. We got our sesame teriyaki, and again, we have our brush. So again, guys, you want to make sure that you're not adding too much of this stuff because it is pretty thick. You're just going to pour across in a straight line as such, just like that. And we're going to use our brush to just go ahead and marinate it. Just treat it like a paintbrush, guys, and just go all the way across the salmon. Spread it out evenly. So once you're finished adding the dressing there, we're gonna go ahead and put this back into the oven for our third 15 minutes. And that's gonna put us at 45. Set your timer and throw that bad boy in. All right, after you take it out, this is gonna be our last dressing here. We're adding cilantro. So same concept here. A little goes a long way, so just pour it in a straight line just like that. And we're gonna use our brush again to just have soft strokes across the salmon and making sure that we're spreading it out evenly. Okay, this is going to be our last 15 minutes. Again, our last 15 minutes. It should be done by the time we take it out this time. And boom, there we go, y'all. My mouth is watering just looking at this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and take that thing out. It's been an hour. We've cooked our salmon, and boom, that is our final result.
All right, guys. Best part, we saved it for last. Now we gotta try the masterpiece. Let's do it. I mean, come on. Come on. Somebody give me an Oscar, because I was a performance. I'll stay tuned for the next video. I'm out.